It was one of the most painful nights for her, and no one knew about it. The young woman suffered in silence without anyone noticing. She held back tears as she tried to hide her pain. But how long can someone keep silent? And would the truth come out sooner or later? We don't know. Sarah was only 19 years old and already had to deal with more than her fair share of pain. It started with a persistent ache in her abdomen, which grew steadily worse over time. It got to the point where she could barely function and felt like she was constantly on the verge of collapsing. Sarah didn't want to burden her family, so she tried to endure the pain alone. However, she couldn't do so for much longer. She had to go to the hospital. Her parents drove her there and stayed with her throughout the tests, trying to comfort their daughter as best they could. Of course, they were worried sick about Sarah and wanted to help her feel better. When the doctors explained what needed to be done, they agreed immediately. Sarah needed an emergency operation. No one was prepared for this turn of events, but they knew that if they wanted their daughter to get better, they had no other choice. After the surgery, they learned that Sarah's kidney had ruptured. How did this happen? Well, she had a tumor. After removing it, the doctor confirmed that it was malignant. So at first, everything seemed to be going well. They caught the disease early enough, and Sarah was optimistic about making a full recovery. At least, that's what everyone thought. A few days after the operation, Sarah developed complications from the anesthesia. The girl fell into a coma. Her parents were horrified and desperate to wake their daughter up. They spent hours by her bedside, holding her hands and talking to her as if she could hear them. Thankfully, Sarah eventually woke up. However, it soon became clear that something wasn't right. The doctors explained that the coma had affected her brain. The girl would never be the same again. That wasn't all. The doctors also mentioned that Sarah might not be able to urinate normally again, which meant that she would need dialysis. But that wasn't the worst news. The tumor had spread and the doctors couldn't operate on it anymore. All Sarah's family could do now was watch helplessly as their daughter wasted away before their eyes. What could they do? The answer was nothing. There was no way to save her. Sarah's condition worsened rapidly. Every day that passed, she got weaker and weaker, until one day she stopped speaking altogether. Sarah's parents sat by her bed, holding each other's hands. Tears streamed down their faces as they watched their only child slip away. Was there nothing they could do to bring her back? Sadly, no. This wasn't a horror movie. It was real life, and then it happened. As Sarah lay there dying, her skin suddenly turned blue. She gasped for air, but no sound came out. Her heart began beating erratically, and then it stopped. Sarah was dead. Her parents cried out in horror, but there was nothing they could do. Their daughter had died right there in front of them. Now, you might think this story is over, but it's actually just begun. You see, when Sarah died, she left behind a secret. For months, she had been hiding something from her family and friends. But now, they finally knew the truth. When Sarah was still alive, she went through a lot of pain and humiliation because of her illness. She had lost hope that things would ever get better. But then something happened that made her whole perspective on life change. One day, while Sarah was in the hospital bathroom, she saw a group of children walking past. They were laughing and playing, and it made her realize that there were still many people who had it worse than her. From that moment on, she vowed to make the most of every single day that she still had. Sarah started looking for ways to improve her situation. She researched her illness online and tried different methods to alleviate her symptoms. She also spoke to other patients and learned from their experiences. Sarah realized that she wasn't alone in this fight. She met a woman named Maria who had been dealing with kidney disease for many years. Maria shared her knowledge with Sarah and taught her how to take care of herself properly. She also told her about a support group that could offer both emotional and financial assistance. With the help of Maria and the support group, Sarah felt less isolated and more in control of her illness. She learned how to manage her condition and even found ways to improve it. Through it all, she remained positive and hopeful. Sarah started writing a blog about her journey, sharing her struggles and successes with other young people who had similar illnesses. She hoped to inspire them to keep going and never give up. Sarah also began volunteering at the hospital, helping other patients cope with their own illnesses. She organized activities and events for them, providing a much-needed distraction from their medical treatments. As Sarah continued to improve, she decided to pursue higher education. She enrolled in an online program and began studying hard. Sarah didn't let her illness define her. Instead, she used it as motivation to become stronger and more resilient. With each passing day, Sarah felt more confident and independent. She was able to manage her condition without relying on others, and was even able to travel and explore the world. Through it all, Sarah never forgot the importance of giving back. She continued volunteering at the hospital and even started her own charity to help other young people with kidney disease. Sarah became an inspiration to many, proving that no matter how difficult your situation may seem, there is always hope for a brighter future. So here's the thing. Sarah's story doesn't end there. In fact, it's just beginning. After her death, her family and friends were determined to carry on her legacy. They created a foundation in her name, dedicated to helping others with kidney disease. The foundation provides financial assistance, emotional support, and educational resources to those in need. Sarah's parents, along with her friends and supporters, have worked tirelessly to raise awareness of kidney disease and to find a cure. They've organized events, fundraisers, and campaigns to make a difference in the lives of those suffering from this illness. As the years have passed, Sarah's legacy has grown. Her story has touched countless people and inspired them to take action. Her memory lives on through the work of the foundation and the lives of those it has helped. The pain of losing their daughter is still fresh in their minds, but they know that Sarah would be proud of what they have accomplished. Her death may have been a tragedy, but her life had meaning. Sarah's story is a reminder to us all that even in the darkest of times, hope can shine through. It's a testament to the power of love, friendship, and the human spirit to overcome adversity and make a positive impact on the world. So if you're struggling with kidney disease or know someone who is, please reach out for help. There are resources available to support you on your journey to recovery. You can also get involved with the foundation and help advance research into finding a cure for this devastating illness. Together, we can honor Sarah's memory by making a difference in the lives of others. Well, folks, that's all the stories I have for today. If you enjoyed listening to them as much as I did, show your support. Give me a thumbs up. Also, remember to subscribe. That way you won't miss out on any of my amazing stories. See you next time.